Hey there guys, welcome to another video that we have here for today. And today I'm going to take you guys quickly through a few things to do if you want to upgrade your deck when a new set comes out. So we're going to start by going on to Scryfall. And we're going to go to the advanced sections here on Scryfall, and then we're going to go down and find the part that says sets, and then we're going to go into sets to find ourselves the set that we're looking for. In this case, we're looking for the most recent set. We're looking for Strixhaven School of Mages, so we're going to select that, and then we're going to go back up here to where it says Commander, and it has all these colors by it, and then we're going to go and choose our Commander colors. So for me, in this case, I'm going red, green, white, black, and green. Sorry, for these purposes, just as an example. And then we're going to go up to this part where it says text. So then you're going to go into text. And in this case, for what I'm wanting to do, I'm just going to put in +1/+1 counters. So now, when I go to search through Strixhaven, it will show me the cards that are in these colors that fit my strategy, which is +1/+1 counters mainly, and is in the new set. So once I go into this, it will just take a moment to load, of course, as they do. But again, once it shows me what there is in this set, then I will go to sort here. And I want to sort by rarity because I want to see the rares or the mythics more so to the top. That's a personal preference. You guys can do it whichever way you want to do it. But I do find that the rares and the mythics are the cards that you generally want to use. So I'm just going to do that for my purposes. Again, it takes a moment to load, but you know, here we are with some of the cards that we would want to look at if we were, you know, building a deck or upgrading a deck with a +1/+1 counters theme in Strixhaven. So we're going to go quickly through some of these and look at them, and then you go to yourself and go, okay, well, do some of these cards speak to me and say this is a card that I would like to play. Now, Spyro Regium, whenever you attack, you put a +1/+1 counter on an attacking creature and untap it, so it gives your creatures vigilance and gives them a counter. That's pretty good. The learn effect, it doesn't really do very much in our format. You basically just discard a card to draw, or is it just draw a card to discard a card? No. Discard a card to draw a card. Yeah, so you discard a card to draw a card. So you loot a card in our format because there's no sideboard, so you can't get a lesson from the sideboard or anything like that unless you're in a very specific playgroup that says that's okay, you can get lessons and whatnot. Most of these other cards that are here, like Emergent Sequence, yeah, that one's not too bad, but the downside is it does become the land when we tutor it with this spell does become a creature, so it is slightly vulnerable, so we might not want to use it. This Croc boy here, Croc Wrangler, you know, it has a pretty good ability, but the problem is in the deck that I've got, it's not really casting that many instant sorceries. Yeah, it does have some, but not that many, so I don't think it's quite worth it. So, like, you just go through these cards. Tended Ink Caster. This one's pretty good. I was actually thinking seriously about this card when I saw it come out. And it could be good for my deck, but again, you know, you just sort of go through these cards, you look at them, you read them, you think to yourself, how effective is this? How powerful is this? Is it better than any of the other cards that I've got? And I can sort of see that for the most part, yes, this card could go in, but it is 5 mana, so I would double think about that just because of that effect. But most of the other cards, like Chevelle, Dean of Radiance, and Imbro's Dean of Shadow, I don't think they're that good. Also, Vitrin, Dean of the Bane. Oh, Vitrin. and Lissette, Dean of the Root. I don't think they find much, but again, it depends on what you're specifically doing with your specific deck. Auric, Law Mage, I don't think he's that good either, but again, it does depend. This is for me. Like, Semester's End isn't too bad, but I just don't see it that much being that good for specifically what I want to do. Yes, I do want to flicker my stuff sometimes or save my stuff, but I just feel like it's too situational sometimes, and what you want to be doing is just killing people for the most part in that deck. But anyway, this is a way that you guys can go through and upgrade your decks. You just have to go through and go, okay, what are my commander color identities? What is, the main strategy that I want to go with? Or what's the main theme of my deck? And then find the set that you're going to look at. You just find the cards that you go, this could see play in my deck. And then you go, well, is it better than any of the other cards? Or are the other cards, doing this but better or whatnot? You just have to find those cards and see if they're going to work. Shadrick Silver Quill, yeah, it could do some stuff for us, but again, the fact that we've got to give something to our opponents, and we mainly want +1/+1 counters, means that we might have to give away, somewhat more decent things, because again, we can choose players that don't have creatures to give their non-existent creature counters. So there are ways around it again. But anyway, guys, I hope you gained something from me doing this little dive into how you would upgrade a deck. So again, you've just got to look at your very specific deck and your specific synergies and what is in there, and then just make cuts, because if there is something that's better than another card, you need to identify those cards and say, well, this card, it has done stuff, but again, it hasn't done that much stuff. And it could be a lot better, it could be a lot more powerful, it could do a lot more stuff. You can also do this with old sets if you're a more new player and you don't really, particularly want to learn every single card that exists and whatnot. Or if you want a very specific strategy, like you have, Magecraft 101, you're just doing all the Magecraft stuff, then you would just go Magecraft, and in the colors that you want, and from Strixhaven. But most of them are going to be from Strixhaven. But you could just basically copy the ability that it has, or, roughly the ability like this. And then you go back to advanced. And of course, it's going to take a moment. It loves to take those moments. So then you'll go put that in. Now I'm going to take out copy here, because copying doesn't happen very much. But whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, and I have a Temur deck that's in these colors, so let's have a look at that. And then, we could actually exclude Strixhaven. So how can we actually do that? I don't know. I can't remember. You can do it, I think. But we could just look at Strixhaven as well, because that's the new set, and it is. So just a moment. And these will be the cards that you would start looking at to go, well, what's in my deck that I could use? And actually, this card, I was thinking about this card maybe for my my deck, but I don't know. It's pretty good though. Just difficult to say, because it is 8 mana, and that mana, I feel like it should really just win you the game. So I'm just a little bit sus on it. Plus, my deck isn't 100% instant sorcery. So again, this is how I would look at it. I would look at these cards and sort of go and start looking at them in terms of, is it better than this? It depends on what else I've got going on in that deck, and it depends on a lot of other things. So yeah, you've got to really look at things like Archmage Eternus. I put that into this new Temur deck that I was building. again, it helps you build new decks too. It doesn't just help you upgrade old decks, but again, it does help with upgrading new decks when you go to think about, okay, what does this deck want? This deck wants this, you know, so what am I looking for? Am I looking for an Archmage Changes? Am I looking for a Wandering Archaic? Am I a deck that sits back and says, okay, thank you very much, I would like to copy all of those spells? Or am I in a Boros deck that just says, well, I will take anything for free that you will give me. Free things are good things. Thank you. So, you know, those are the sorts of things you've got to consider when you're doing this sort of thing. But when you do it, you will find yourself a few cards maybe, or maybe you will find one new card. I did this also with just like if you have a tribal deck, you just do the same thing. You just go through Advanced, and then you go down and you find yourself the type line, and then you say whatever type you want, and you say like squirrel, of course, and then of course you go your colors, and I'm in black and green, so we go black and green, and then we go Strixhaven. And of course there's one, but it's alright. So see, this is how you would do it. If you find yourself a tribe, you find yourself the tribe that you're looking for, and then you search the new set for those cards. So it's very easy to sort of find ways to upgrade your deck with new cards. You can easily find what cards will go into whatever deck that you're building by just using this application. So anyway, as I said, you know, hope you have enjoyed this. Tell me what you guys think about using Scryfall, because I like using Scryfall more than many of the other sort of applications that are out there. It seems to be the easiest and simplest and fastest way to do it. So, you know, again, it gives you the prices, it gives you, you know, all sorts of things, information, so that you can make informed decisions, I think. So that's why I really like it. But let me know what decks that you guys are trying to build or want to build, and let me know which decks you want to see me build and whatnot as well. Write them down there in the comments. Please remember that the success of channels like this is based on viewers like you, so please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing if you would like to support this content. You can also get social with us on our Discord and on our Facebook. If you would like to further support the channel, you can go onto our Patreon. All links are in the description. Thank you for your support. It really means a lot. I hope you have enjoyed this video here today, and if you have, I hope you will come back for another one. See you then.